Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Frank Presents the Play Call. Had a brain fart there for a quick second. Anyway, here we are. Not too far from the beginning of football season now. Look, hey, next week July is over and we're in August. Then
hmm
preseason, and guess what? We're doing NFL drafts for fantasy and everything else. Bree, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really good. I need a nap after this.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. June, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
Bro, feeling good, feeling good. Looking to watch this Deadpool movie.
Yeah, we're gonna go when Ava gets back. She gets back tomorrow, so we'll probably go tomorrow, if not Monday, do something. We didn't want to go without her because she would have had a fit. But I did go see Twister, and Twister was good. Definitely enjoyed it. I like
Oh yeah,
I
like
like
it.
the original. Yeah, I like it. The storyline was kind of similar, but it wasn't exactly the same. So it throws a twist in there. Twister, no pun intended. All right, Bree, well, let's go ahead. Let's get this going, girl. What we got to talk about today?
Okay, so first and foremost, today we have people got paid this week. Three people who got paid this week. So the first one that we can talk about is we can talk about Mr. Jabril Peppers finalizing a 3-year extension with the base value of 24 million, worth up to 30 million.
Like I said in the chat, Patriots are keeping their defense strong. They know in order to be able to
Mhm.
compete, they're gonna need a strong defense to make up for the lack of offense. Or we don't know what that offense is gonna look like. A lot of people have counted the Patriots out. Like, and now when they talk about the AFC East, it's like, oh, there's only 3 teams. They don't count the Patriots no more. You know what I'm saying? So I think Mayo's like, listen, let's keep the defense strong where we're at. It's been a top 10 defense. And hopefully that defense can help us win a few games as long as the offense doesn't turn the ball over or screw it up. So, and he's a good player. He's a good player. What you didn't hear from him is holding out or holding in, none of that. They coming to work, they doing what they got to do. So, shout out to him getting paid. Good job on the Patriots keeping the defense strong.
Yeah, big shout out to him. I think that was a great extension, um, and a good base value. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Um, he's a very, very good safety. To me, he was your best defensive player last year. So big ups to him, and very proud to see how your defense does this season. And now that he got paid, he might ball out even more, even though he played his role last season.
Yeah, because last season we didn't have Judon. We lost Gonzalez early.
Mhm.
Um, it hurt
And
the defense a lot, but this year you should have Judon back, Gacho back. Gonzalez is going to be there. You had him there. Other key pieces. The defense. Patriots always found good defensive players. It wasn't always a question of defensive players. It was the question was the offensive players later towards the end of Belichick's tenure. Because you still got to give him credit for Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez, even though I don't like to mention him, Julian Edelman, uh, Dion Branch won a Super Bowl with us. There's been a lot of offensive players that he found that went well. James White as a running back.
Mhm.
I'm not saying he's going to the Hall of Fame, but hell, 3 Super Bowls. I'll take that, over nothing. And he was a very key part to our offense. Kevin Falk as well. Shane Vereen was good for us for a little bit, and he found players. But defense, I will say consistently, the Patriots always found a good defensive player. Hightower was one that we drafted. The McCourty, not the other brother, but so good on defense, man. I give it to the Patriots. At least they're doing something.
Mhm. All right, and then Tua Tagovailoa agreed in the Miami Dolphins agreed to a 4-year, $212.4 million contract that locked him in for long term. It is Miami franchise um most highest paid player.
You want to go first, June, or you want?
Uh, yeah, sure. I know we touched on this a little bit on the on offsides, and I guess the big question on offsides, or the conversation led to uh he not holding out or holding in, and he's playing based on what he's done, and it's crazy. um I mean, he had the most passing yards last year in the entire NFL. uh given that tragic season that he had the year before that. And it still didn't hold him down, man, which shows a lot, not just from the O-line, but from his end on what he was able to work on, so he don't take those vicious hits to put him in those situations.
Correct.
So is he worth that much money? I think he's worth money, but I guess with the way that this market is setting, is setting itself, I guess it's just the average, based on the other conversations that we're going to have on the other quarterbacks here to speak on. So, hey, that's good on Tua. Hey, good for you. Obviously, he's proven. The only downside to that, and it's the biggest downside to it, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, he hasn't won a playoff game. That's it.
I'm look, first off, let me because we're going to talk about players, and we've talked about players, and I think we've talked about these quarterbacks getting paid at nauseum. I think this
so many times, yeah.
Yeah, this is the most talked about topic in every network you turn on, podcast, is these quarterbacks getting paid. First off, respect and enough congratulations to the player. Okay. When we talk about these contracts, we don't want people to think, oh, they're hating. No, we're not hating on the player getting his money. Because guess what? The player did his job. He showed up. That is the guy negotiate, and he's good to go. He has the episode. I mean, the money for it. It's the franchise that I hold responsible for this. Because when is somebody gonna say, listen, bro, I appreciate you. You have had winning records. You are good. But let's keep in mind that before you had Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Mike McDaniels, you were struggling. They was gonna trade him. They had him up. They were entertaining conversations to get rid of Tua before Mike McDaniels came in, before they traded for Tyreek Hill, and before they got Waddle in the draft. So now here you are. There's nothing wrong with a franchise saying, listen, Burrow, 55 mil, I could see it. Went to the Super Bowl, 2 AFC championships. Jalen Hurts, his money went to the Super Bowl. A couple of NFC championships. Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl one team, got traded, went to the NFC championship with another one. A team that hasn't sniffed a playoff win or an NFC championship game since I can't remember when. Who else is up there? Burrow, Hurts.
Lawrence.
No. What I'm talking about that's been to the Super Bowl recently.
Oh.
At least it, had playoff success, and to go to a conference championship. It's only those three, right?
Say those three again.
Hurts, Burrow, and Goff. The only ones that either shown up for a Super Bowl or made it to a conference championship, and them top 5 players getting paid. Trevor, we when we started peeling the onion back on Trevor, trash. You know what I'm saying? Numbers, basura. Him and Jaden, what is it? Donnie Dimes? Donnie got the same numbers. Him and Minshew got the same numbers. Who else? They compared Trevor Lawrence numbers to Tua, and if you pay Trevor on the potential of upside, then you should have paid Tua, because Tua's numbers are way better than Trevor's. So, so it's like, to me, it's okay for an organization to come back and say, look, hey, Frank, you know what? You've been going good for us, but you're not a $50 million quarterback. You're at best, I'm going to give you $40 million. Yeah. But 50, I'm not giving you 50. And think about it. They got 2 speedsters. They're one of the few teams that have 2 wide receiver ones on both sides. Yeah, I can't play in the cold. You couldn't get past certain division. Yeah, you didn't win the games you had to win at the end of the season last year, whether that's on Tua or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not paying you 50 mil, because now I'm hamstringing myself to you, and I still got. But now Miami's different, because they're paying $70 million to Tyreek, $70+ million to Waddle. Now they're giving this guy all his money, so it's a different. They're paying their players. However, it's something that Shady McCoy said that I agree. You're playing in the NFL right now. They're setting the precedents for these NFL quarterbacks to come in and say, I could be good, slightly above average, and I'm going to get elite money. Instead of it being to get elite money, you have to be elite player. And then the other thing that I would mention that I've heard a lot about recently is, why isn't that we're not taking the same approach with the other positions in the NFL? Why is it that so if that's the case, Justin Jefferson set the market. CeeDee Lamb should be able to come back and reset the market.
Mm-hmm.
And we can agree that CeeDee Lamb is probably top 10 wide receivers in the league, right? I'll be fine with that. So why is it for other positions that's not the case? But for quarterback, you could be average and damn near reset the market.
Right.
So shout out to Tua for getting his money. But what organization, what franchise is going to tell you you're not getting paid? You know what's crazy is Belichick, one time, Edelman tells a story how he went to Belichick and said, I want this much money for a new contract. And Belichick looked at Edelman and was like, nah, you're not going to get that. And he went to the Giants, was going to sign with the Giants. And I think Brady picked up the phone and said, bring your ass back home. And he came back to New England. But Belichick told him to his face, nah, I'm not giving you that. I'm not. So go look. Talk all you want about Belichick, but that's one of the things that you could say that he would do. You want a lot of money? I don't give a fuck how good you are. Go somewhere else. Let's see how you do somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I agree, but shout out to Tua got paid. I just think that the NFL is going in a direction where it's a bad precedence, and they might have to give the quarterbacks a separate salary cap. And that sucks.
100%. Yeah, man. You talked about other positions too, man. I was watching earlier today on ESPN or whatnot. I forgot what show it was. The undervalued positions in the NFL today. The most undervalued position. Can you guys guess what it is, really quick?
Kicker?
All right. So I wouldn't say that's undervalued because they get paid. They get paid.
One kicker just got paid. What's up?
A punter.
It's the running back position, right?
Yeah, running back is the cheapest. Yeah, they do get paid cheap.
So they're right now they decrease so much, and they're in the bottom 15 underpaid positions in the NFL, and they take the most beatings, right? And they were talking what's his name, Bijan Robinson. They were talking to Pollard, and how do they go day to day with not worrying about their contracts, and or comparing themselves to wide receivers or quarterbacks. And the only thing that Pollard says is you just got to block out the noise and go and play. And the only thing that they had to say was there's only one person that's fighting for that market right now, and it's Christian McCaffrey, right? Because he's setting that standard for them, which is as crazy as it sounds. He really is. I mean, he just signed that extension where he's the only running back that's about to make $20 million. Well, he is. He's making 19 point something, so $20 million a year. But think about the beatings that guy takes, and we joke around a lot about Christian McCaffrey and he may be injured when he was in Carolina and stuff like that. But regardless of the weapons in San Fran, this man takes a beating as a running back, and that's just one. There's 31 other starting running backs out there right now that are taking the beating just like he is.
See, I think, but you said McCaffrey, and I think he's the outlier. I think, and we all been watching football long enough to agree to this, that the game has changed. So the ground and pound running backs that used to get paid money don't get paid money no more because the running backs like back in the day, Marshall Faulk, Kevin Faulk, the Danian Thomas, LT used to do this. He used to be able to catch the ball at the backfield. All those versatile running backs that now that's Christian McCaffrey. Think about it. People talking about, yo, you can get rid of Ayuk and you're going to be okay because you still got Kittle, you got Debo, and you got Christian McCaffrey, who can still run a route. And then you guys, Eagles, paid Saquon the money he wanted based on the fact that he is the closest, when healthy, the closest thing to Christian McCaffrey. So that's it. But you're right. They block, they pass protect, they do all that stuff, but they're not valued because it's a passing league. So unless you can shift and become a pass catching back, you're not gonna get paid.
Right.
unfortunately, that's what it's coming to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's interesting. This is we got another person to cover, so I know we have extensively talk about it in about 2 seconds.
Just one last thing to add on top of the Tua contract. He gets 167.1 million guaranteed.
And you know what's crazy? Here's another thing. We all know Tua gets concussed one more time. He doesn't play for like 4 or 5 weeks straight.
Yeah.
So you just paid this man. He's the third highest paid player, right? No, fourth.
That's finessing.
And if you get one concussion, you're out for 4 to 5 weeks. That's
right.
the season for this team.
Yeah. And that's called finessing on Tua's because he's getting 167 million guaranteed.
Again, I'm not mad at the guy.
Toby, stop scratching.
You know what I think it is?
Scratching back there?
No, I don't hear him.
No.
He's scratching the hell out of my freaking chair. Like my lounge chair.
Oh, he's getting comfortable. The thing that we're gonna see is it's just changing. The game is changing, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's something that we're gonna, give him his money. I'm not mad at the player. Again, it's like us having real conversations with each other, right? It's like saying, okay, that's a team, a business, anything, friendships, relationships, whatever you want to say. Who's gonna be the person that's gonna say, yo, June, you crazy? That's you asking for too much now. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, June, based on the work you do with your coins and everything else you're doing, bro, you could charge more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the conversations that real people should have. And I know this is sports, and I know that there's it's a business, but I mean, think about it, man. The next guy we're gonna talk about, and I'll carry on when she gives out the details about that.
No, right. Before I do that, before I even bring him up, before I even do that, we had this conversation on when I was the guest. I was the guest on All Sides, and we were talking about Trevor and that whole 2020 draft class. And I had said that we're missing one person out of this conversation that his first year starting made it to the divisional rounds of the playoffs. And then if it wasn't for that defense, could have knocked out the 49ers and made it to the NFC Championship game. And that person we're talking about is the only native of Bakersfield, California, graduated from Liberty High School, the man 300 grand, Jordan Love, has agreed to a 4-year extension worth $220 million, which makes him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
Okay.
You like that intro?
Yes, I do. I like it. And it was great, and I appreciate it. And again, shout out to the player for getting his bag.
That's all he gets.
Shout out to the player for getting his bag. But for 1 year, you paid this guy off of 1 year.
They see something in him. But you also have to look at the franchise too. That franchise, that's their guy, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was their guy. Prior to Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre was their guy. So they see longevity in their quarterbacks.
No, yeah. They have a good line of picking quarterbacks. Even though Brett Favre was drafted by the Falcons and traded to the Packers,
yes,
has success at the quarterback position for a
very and the longevity time. Yeah.
Yes, I see that part. But here we go again. So they knocked Trevor, right? They said, oh, what you paying Trevor for? The propensity or the possibility of his upside to be great. So now if, let's say in the next 4 years, 3 years, Trevor takes the Jags. So what's let's agree here. What's success then? What is going to be success that when I paid investment into this, I invested into this person, what am I going to consider a successful rate of return? That's what I want to know, right? Because before I say what I want to say, I think all of us here, our teams have experienced success meaning winning the Super Bowl, right? We all celebrated. We all got the jerseys. We got hats. Oh my God, our teams, our teams, our teams. So for us, a lot of times success is not just making it to the playoffs. For us, success is going to the Super Bowl and winning, right? So with that being said, the Green Bay Packers, one of NFL's valued franchises, a history, championship winning. I got to look up how many NFL championships they have, but they have, I want to say 4 Super Bowl rings because they won 2 back to back with Lombardi, then Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So I want to say 4, and then I don't know how many NFL championships they got, but the Green Bay Packers, they paying this guy all this money. What is the return on the investment? Is what I guess I'm asking. Because if their return is just to make it to the playoffs and that's success, then okay, you paid them. But it's 1 year. I would have never. That's a lot of money. And now you still got to build a team around him, and that's a young team.
You know, that's a good question, man.
I'm just saying.
What does the NFL, not even NFL, what does organizations measure as success? What is their standard or their threshold when it comes to success?
So, real quick, just to give you the answer to my question, they have 11 NFL championships before the merger, and they have 4 Super Bowls. The Chargers, I mean, the Green Bay Packers, hell, these dudes won 5 titles back to back. They won 65, 66, 67 NFL championships, then Super Bowl 1 and Super Bowl 2. This is you know what I'm saying? This organization, Title Town for all purposes, because they got a lot of championships, was success for them. Off 1 year, listen, again, I would have, and I think Jordan Love would have been okay with this. Hey man, look, we're gonna give you 40 mil. I'll give you like a 2-3 year extension, equals 40 mil a year. You know, see what you do there. And if nothing, then guess what? We're gonna move on. If not, hey, we'll make it do what it do. This way I can keep players around you. You win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, we'll restructure your shit and I'll pay you even more. And I think he would have been fine with that because he doesn't strike me as the person that's gonna say, nah, I want all this money. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the type of person, kind of like Tua. Tua didn't want to be the highest paid person either. But again, June, if you go to your kids and say, hey, I'm gonna give you $500, but they really wanted 100, do you think they're gonna say, no, Dad, keep the other 4 and just give me 100? No, they're gonna say, oh, thank you for the 500. I would have settled for 100, but I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Have a nice life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know. So that's, I mean, shout out to Jordan Love, but again, this is another quarterback that had 1 year, and yes, Bree, he took him to the playoffs, division rounds.
Yes. I've seen some people on Twitter talking about like, is 220, like how is he the highest paid? Well, because his contract is 4 years versus 5 years. So
there's more
for the people who are listening, yeah. For the people who are listening. So that's that. Okay.
We still talking about Love, right?
Yeah, Love.
Yeah.
That is like the true definition of overpay. Like there's a meme out there and I saved it. There's no way.
Sorry that he has a bigger contract than Jalen Hurts, June. I apologize.
No, look, I could care less about that. I'm talking about what does he have to show besides a second half of the season? Because he didn't do great in the first half. A second half of the season last year. Besides the second half of the season, what did he have to show? And before and this training camp, he said he was not going to practice unless he had a new contract. So where do you come about what do you bring to the table with it? What ownership is allowing this?
You do know that
Bye.
Okay. Are you done?
Bring motherfucking my dude from the Blue Hens.
Flacco, he's already on the team, bro.
Buy his ass out. Bring Flacco over there.
What's up, Bree? What you was gonna say?
Well, just to say, like, yeah, he had a rocky first half of the season. This was his first year starting. And then prior to that, he's only played 2 games in the 3 years that he's been on the team. So he doesn't really have experience playing in a true NFL game. So I can understand why the first few weeks of the season were rocky for him, if that makes sense.
And
then you also got to remember
what you
that.
said.
But you also got to.
What you said. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then you also got to remember Lazard left. So their like official wide receiver 1 was Christian Watson, who was out until like week 7 or 8 of the season. So it's factors that play into why their season was rocky, but they were able to capitalize on the mistakes that were being made, overcome them, and be successful the way they did towards the end of the season and then in the playoffs. Because you got to remember that game against the Dallas Cowboys, the number 2 seed in the NFL and the NFC East champions, they destroyed and demolished them. And they were the number 7 seed. They were the first team in NFL history for the number 7 seed to win in the wild card round. So they to capitalize off those errors and mistakes that were being made, also with the lack of the weapons that he needed to be successful. They overcame it, they conquered it, made it to the playoffs. And like I said before, we all said it. They were this close to beating San Francisco 49ers.
They were a field goal away.
This close, but it wasn't even Jordan Love's fault. It was that defense's fault.
I'm with you. But because of what you said in the beginning, it's why I disagree with the contract.
Oh, I just gave him a hype-ass introduction. That's all I did.
No. Well, what you just said in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Because he sat behind Aaron Rodgers for so long, because he played 2 games and he had a rocky first half. And that's why I disagree with the contract. It's not because of his play.
Yeah, no, I was just answering his shitty ass, in your words, his shitty ass first half of the season. So we're going to move on to the next topic.
That's why I disagree.
We're going to move on to the next topic. We can agree to disagree with each other. I'm happy
check it out.
I think he's a phenomenal, stellar quarterback. I think that I feel like after this contract, he has a lot to prove.
I'm not arguing with you, Bree, but you're moving on. This is a podcast, right?
Yeah.
So this is a podcast. You get to say what you got to say, and I get to say what I get to say.
That's why I asked you if you were done.
No, I wasn't, because you keep going. So my question is, we're talking money and quarterbacks. Dak Prescott doesn't have long-term contract, true?
No, not right now. No.
So who would you choose in your team right now as a starting quarterback? If you had to choose a quarterback, would you choose Dak Prescott or Jordan Love?
Oh, I'm probably going.
I'm going Love.
I'm probably going Dak, and the only reason I'm probably going Dak is veteran experience. That's it. That is the only thing. Because with Dak, yes, he in the postseason he has cost his team. He's made bad decisions, right? But he's, I think, only behind Mahomes and Allen in winning. I think I have to put the numbers. My production team's not in my ear right now, but he wins. He wins. And see, this is where we got to, again, what's success, right? And what's success? Bree, let's take your team for example. Your coach has never had a losing season, but you haven't won a title since I forgot when. The year, and then
2009,
and you haven't won a playoff game since when
2017.
Right. So a lot of people are starting to question what's more important to him. Is it, I make it to the playoffs, or I have a winning season, or do I get back to the Super Bowl because they got 6? Another franchise that has 6. So what's
No,
success?
I can speak on that as the
Yeah.
first lady of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, and also being Mike Tomlin's twin sister, just about 30 years younger than him. 20, like 24 years younger than him. But we are twins. Our birthdays are just a day apart, but he was born on the 15th at 11:59 a.m. I was born on the 16th at midnight. We're twins,
Yeah.
But I can speak on that. No, our ultimate goal is to win 7. Our dream is stairway to 7. That is our motto. That's everything that we've always wanted. Yes, we were winning seasons. Yes, we have winning seasons, and he's the coach with the most consecutive winning seasons. But our goal isn't just, let's just have a winning season and then call it a day. We had a lot of bumps in the road. I think the year 2020, when we had the undefeated season, so we played Washington, we went 11-0, and then we were the AFC North. That wild card playoff game against the Browns didn't go in our favor. I felt like that was our year to win a Super Bowl, but everything happens for a reason. It's just been rocky. Ben was getting older, getting a lot more injured. A lot of our key weapons were leaving, i.e. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Jesse James. Like, we were missing a lot of key players, trading key players and whatnot. I trust my organization. I trust my coach. But no, our ultimate goal every year is to make it to Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. So it's not just to have winning seasons, but the winning seasons comes into wanting to win a Super Bowl.
So, and the reason I bring this up, right, because my franchise is struggling now, right? I would take winning and making the playoffs consistently than not getting anywhere, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Something James Jones said, and Shady kind of criticized him for it. He said, "I'd rather make it consistently, and eventually one day we get over the hump." We see it all the time. Franchises that constantly make the playoffs and just never get over that hump. And you're hoping, perfect example, the Buffalo Bills. How many times at the end of a playoff run, we'll say, what is it going to take for Josh and the Bills to finally win? To get over the hump of beat Mahomes, right? But they don't get that opportunity if they don't keep making the playoffs. You don't make the opportunity to get advanced to chief if you don't keep making board, right? You got to make the dance in order to get a ticket. So it's like, I'd rather have that than what I'm trying to say is that's what that brings you consistent. We know that. Now, if you ask me this question 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and Jordan Love is winning the North maybe every other year, is keeping the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs, then I would probably tell you I'll go with Love. However, right now, me personally, I go with Dak because of the experience. What's up, Bree?
All right, so to answer June's question, if I had to build a franchise around one of the quarterbacks, i.e. Dak Prescott or Jordan Love, I'm going to pick Jordan Love. And the reason why I'm going to pick Jordan Love, Frank, is opposite of what you're saying, because he's young and I can build around him for longevity success.
I mean, that's fair. It's again, you're right. You're taking the risk on it, where I'm going with the proven track record, right? But that same proven track record comes with a slope, right? Which is he doesn't win in the postseason. So, but then I guess I'll ask y'all this question: how many quarterbacks are actually winning in the postseason consistently?
Not that many. Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy,
right?
Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen are really like the main four. We can't put Lamar Jackson in there yet because this was their first year where they won 2 playoff games,
Yeah. And then what happened? Gets to the AFC championship and plays like he'd never been there before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He's never been there before.
Well, he was never been there before, but
yeah.
I mean like a rookie. So right now, when we start looking at these quarterbacks, it goes back to winning. And I've said this before. There's only 3.
I like one playoff win for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, because they weren't a wild card. They was the number 1 seed, right? So yeah, so they only had to do divisional, and then they got to the conference championship. So yeah, June. But who would you pick, June? Let's go that route. If you had Dak or Love, who would you pick?
You got to answer your own question.
The question was for you guys.
No, no,
No, you
no.
gotta pay.
This is a podcast, right? This is what we
Yeah.
do, right? We
Oh,
talk
in words
back
of
and
June,
forth.
in words of June, we're a podcast, right? This is a podcast, right?
But
Right,
So,
right.
okay. So that question was for us, all right? So now, June, my question to you is, you are building a team and you need a franchise quarterback. Who are you building your franchise around? Are you building it around Jordan Love or are you building it around Dak Prescott?
I would have to build it around experience, and I would go with Dak.
Okay. All right.
And hey, ladies and gentlemen, for June to say that as an Eagle fan, he is going to be praying tonight. No, but you know what? It's a good question. It's a good question. And I think it goes back to what your team values, right? And what they're looking at. I don't know what the next topic is because but it's a good segue to that whole Jerry Jones shit. But I'll let you take it.
Yeah, we'll get with Jerry Jones in a little bit, okay? And so the next topic that we have is 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan tells reporters that Trent Williams is not practicing for contract reasons as he joins Brandon Ayuk amongst San Francisco players wanting a raise. Now, we do know that Brandon Ayuk did show up to training camp, mandatory training camp. I think he did that so he don't get fined and lose any more money, but he did not participate at all. So you have both Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams, who is one of their best defensive players, not practicing.
Offensive players.
Offensive. That's
He's the
what I mean.
best. He's like the
He's
best
a left tackle. He's a left tackle. My apologies.
In the league.
I was getting him mixed up with somebody else. My apologies.
No,
but yeah, you have two key players that are sitting out for contracting purposes. So is there trouble in San Francisco right now?
There's trouble in San Francisco. Yeah. I don't think that's going to stop from being great. I think people need to be realistic. June and I spoke about this on Offsides. An interesting stat that Trent Williams has is that when he's in the game, they're 19-3. When he doesn't play, they're 1-2. You got Brock Purdy, who's pretty much a stationary quarterback. He'll scramble when he needs to scramble, but he's not Hurts. He's not a Lamar. He's not Justin Fields. He's not that dual threat quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He is the typical prototype quarterback. Stay in the pocket, move around, throw the ball. You got to protect them. So I would pay Trent Williams. Now, with that being said, I also feel it's a little bit selfish on Trent Williams' part, knowing that you got a wide receiver out there trying to get his first new contract because he's still in the rookie contract. And then the following year, they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said to June on Offsides, what if Brock Purdy gets back to the Super Bowl again? Or even to the NFC Championship game, right? And you think
you have to pay the guy.
Yeah, you think he's not going to make $60 million a year? He's going to make that $60 million a year because that's 3 years in a row where he's NFC Championship, Super Bowl, and whatever we don't know. But let's just NFC Championship again. I mean, I'm gonna pay you, right? So I think with Trent Williams is I think that they got a choice to make, and then unfortunately in this situation, Ayuk's gonna be the loser in my opinion. He's gonna be the one that loses out because they got to pay the left tackle, who's probably the best left tackle in the business. And then you got to pay the quarterback that's been successful for you.
Let's see that shirt, Jim.
So
you try to advertise your company?
Oh yeah, might as well. Yeah. Might as well. So as I'm scooting up with the quality, as you can see, this is the Nike golf.
Yeah.
Everything is embroidered. So it's gonna be on the website soon, right? And that's my own design there, traditional goat. So it's coming soon to the website.
Hey, that's dry fit.
It is a dry fit golf. The golf.
Yeah, there we go, June expanding. But yeah, that's how I see it. I mean, June, your take?
Man, I'll tell you what, man. You said something that caught my attention. After talking about Love, Purdy's gonna get paid regardless.
Mm-hmm.
If Love made 50-something million, Purdy about to make 100.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just based off what Love's done. And but what was the question, initial question? Because what you said about Purdy, and that just grabbed my attention. Because
No,
Purdy,
she said, are they in
Purdy,
trouble? Are the 49ers in trouble?
I think they're. I don't think they're in that much trouble. I think they're in locker room trouble based on the. I think they're in their own heads, right? I think that they created that hype of how good they really are. They're really good. They have a lot of all-stars there, a lot of Pro Bowl players, and because of what they are, they value themselves so high that you got a player like Ayuk, we spoke about in the offsides, which I don't think is good for the rookies and sophomores to establish that type of standard. To, hey, you know what? When you get to my level and you're not getting paid, you could show up to practice and not practice unless you get
Mm-hmm.
what you want, even if you're making 15 million this year. And I don't think that's a standard that is healthy for that locker room. And then you have another person like Trent Williams, where he's making 20 million. Hey, you know what? I could be making 20 million. And when you get to my standard, you could restructure your contract at any point in your career and not participate when you get here. So I just think it's the wrong message that they're showing out to that locker room. And that's where I think they're in trouble. When they put the pieces back in place, I think they're still going to be a very, very strong competitor in the NFC.
So, Bree, what do you think? You think they're in trouble? I mean, do you feel like they're
Just a little bit when it comes to the players. I do think that they are still one of the top teams in the NFC. But I feel like when you have all this drama around players, especially like key players, that's going to definitely affect the locker room, you know?
Mhm.
But it also could be a good thing because it's going to make guys who wants to start in their positions step up and show them. But I do think it will affect the locker room when it comes to key players sitting out, holding out for new contract negotiations. We do know that Brandon Ayuk did request a trade. He has not been traded yet. There are some teams that are trying to get him. They have until November to get him. So we'll just see what happens. Like I said, he only showed up so he didn't get fined, but he did not participate, and so did Trent Williams.
Do you think, Bree, and because I asked June, me and June talk about it offsides, do you think that the 49ers missed a window to kind of shop him at the best price they could have got before
Yes, they
that?
did.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
But the what I was about to say, the evidence was there that they should have.
Mm-hmm.
They lost the Super Bowl, and a day after the Super Bowl, his brother was posting all that stuff on his stories.
Yeah.
About, well, time to go to Vegas. Well, we're out of San Francisco, like all this stuff. And how we always say family, like they're just making it worse for their family members who are playing in the NFL. But his brother wouldn't have posted that if he didn't hear anything from Ayuk, So
Frustration. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think June. I agree with June. They're going to be fine. The roster's going to be formidable. They do a good job at picking up players in the draft too. They Shanahan's offense is proven to be successful up until the Super Bowl. And he can't. It's like he's good up until the second half of the Super Bowl. After that, it goes to shit, and he loses. But he'll get you to at least a good first half, right? The thing is, I think Ayuk showing up is good not to get fined. I also said this in the past, though. Sometimes the biggest thing to do is just show up and play. Let your play speak for itself. Because I want to say that his yardage with less receptions, targets is up there. He's like 1,000-yard receiver with less targets than CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson as a number 3 option. So if you put him again, and this is something James Jones said, and we've talked about this. We talked about it with Juju. Remember when AB left and now he was the number 1 target? How did that go? Right? You was eating when the defense was doubling this guy over here. And James Jones said it when he went.
And just to touch on it, because that's my baby, But Juju, yes, he was promoted to the number 1. he didn't do as well as he did as the number 2, but he still had some success as the number 1, especially after we drafted Chase Claypool, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. So for me, you're on a team where you're not the primary option. You're not the primary. Like, if it was the Steelers and the Eagles and the Patriots, and I'm going to start with June, if you was the defense coordinator, you're going to play the 49ers. Who is your main focus on offense?
Man.
Who you preparing for? The whole week prior. The minute y'all get done Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, whenever y'all got done playing, who are you, your defense, you and Sirianni are talking, who you telling Sirianni, I'm going to focus on defense?
On defense?
Yeah, if you're the defense, you're the DC, and you're about to face the 49ers, who is your main focus? Like, we cannot let this guy go off, because if he does, we're done. So who would that be?
I mean, it would have to be the main man, 500 grand McCaffrey.
Right?
Yeah.
Bree? You talking about Brock? What is that?
I'm throwing a football. Who throws the football?
You're focusing on Brock. See, I'm
focusing on a quarterback. I am focusing on a quarterback. Yes, Christian McCaffrey is their main weapon piece there, right? But he could run the ball for so long, you know? Mm-hmm. He can't run the ball the whole freaking game, you know? So I'm focusing on a quarterback who is also going to have George Kittle to throw to, what's his name? Debo to throw to. What's the other guy's name? Juszczyk to throw to. Like, there's other people. Christian McCaffrey could yes, he's a great running back. He's the best running back in the league right now, but he could only run for so long. We remember what happened. I know they didn't have Christian McCaffrey, but they had Juszczyk, Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo there, and we saw what happened when the Eagles knocked out Purdy in the first quarter.
Oh yeah, I mean, you didn't have a quarterback. They were depleted as hell. Remember,
they were running the ball majority of the time, you know. Yeah. But when it came to throwing that ball, the receivers weren't catching shit. So I'm going after the quarterback.
This is what I would do, right? And this is just me. I see what you're saying. I'm going to attack it from a different angle. I'm going to stop the run because I want you to throw the ball. So
but not every defense. All right, now let's look at our franchises. So
yeah,
Frank, look at the Patriots defense. Look at June. Look at the Eagles defense. I'm gonna look at Pittsburgh's defense. Right, not all of our defense. Yes, tackle the running back, so the quarterback has to throw the ball. But besides my franchise, not to be messy.
Mm-hmm.
DBs. We've seen the Eagles DBs, they're good, but they were lacking last season.
Mm-hmm.
You had, your DBs are pretty defense. You are pretty good. Like, you have a strong defense, but it's not up to the capability to stop those core fucking wide receivers. Mm-hmm. My DBs are also great defense, but you've seen how they embarrassed my fucking DBs when we played them week 1. So our DBs can't handle those receivers. So yeah. I'm attacking the fucking quarterback.
But that's what I'm saying. So the pressure, right? Because when you bring pressure, you're giving something up, right? You're either going to go man to man on the outside, and you're 9 times out of 10 that running back's probably do a bump and run and get out and get you in the flat. You let Christian McCaffrey get out open and he can just dump that ball off. They already called him a dink and dunk quarterback, right? Because Debo and McCaffrey could take a pass from 1 yard to 15, 20 yards. You know what I'm saying? So for me, what I'm saying is stop the run and apply that pressure up front. Because your DBs are only as good as that, in my opinion, unless you're the Legion of Boom, where they were from the back front, in a sense. They were so good in the back end that they can cover and allowing the front defense to get at the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So they wasn't giving you that space. But normally it's like reverse, right? The pressure's got to be so good up front that the quarterback doesn't have time to throw the ball, so it doesn't put as much pressure on your DBs. Like when Von Miller, I'm in the backfield in 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It was like when they played the Patriots in the AFC Championship. They asked Von Miller, said, Brady gets rid of the ball in like 2 point something seconds, and he was like, "I just need 1 second. I'm back there." That's big. When I could be in the backfield and apply that pressure on that quarterback, then. But sometimes when you got a good run game, you got to be able to stop that and force them into that. So that's why I say that. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with attacking the quarterback. It's just how I think we're saying the same thing, just different ways to attack the quarterback. June, what be your way?
I guess.
That was just for the fact that they're not gonna make the same mistake twice with Brock and we're not having that same. They're not. I don't think they're gonna make the same mistake twice for not having a okay quarterback back there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, that situation when knocking out 2 quarterbacks in one game, that was just crazy stuff. What are the chances of that? But that's the reason why I chose McCaffrey, because he is the all-star in that team.
Mm-hmm.
And even with a backup quarterback, that backup quarterback we talked about in the very beginning, the very first topic of the podcast, being a versatile running back in this league is what's going to make you successful. And he being the most versatile, arguably, running back in the league right now is who you have to eliminate out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate that versatility.
I think so. And the other thing, too, is when you can run the ball for over 100 yards a game, you're eating clock up.
Right.
The chance of you winning is going to be really up there because if I'm running the ball, I can just run the ball all day. You know what I'm saying? And get it. So, but I was trying to make a point. The point I was trying to make was really nobody's planning for Ayuk. They're planning for either Purdy,
right.
They're either planning for, McCaffrey or Debo. You know what I'm saying? Kittle is who Kittle is, and he's a traditional tight end, not like Kelsey. He's different. So I don't think people they don't really scheme because a lot of times he's blocking. He's on the line blocking or helping with the run, but he's also another person you got to plan for because you can't leave him open. The dude's an amazing tight end out there in the field. So let's see what's up. I'm telling you, I think Ayuk is not gonna get paid. I don't think he's gonna pay what he want. I think Ayuk's best bet is to just play, and hopefully before November, a team is short a wide receiver or needs one more piece and are willing to give you.
Right.
For example, take we know the Patriots and Steelers were in competition to try to get him, right? Both teams interested. I know my teams at quarterback still hasn't figured it out. We got Jacoby Brissett, but it's not like having Russell Wilson in there, who's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So let's say that the Steelers are doing better offensively than we thought. Russell's cooking, and they just need one more piece. How much would the Steelers give up to get Ayuk to be a strong 1 or 2 behind their guy, Pickens? You know what I'm saying? Because let's say the Steelers are second in division. Let's just say second in division. Or even third and can make a push for the playoffs, but they need one more piece. You get Ayuk. That's a game changer. You know what I'm saying? That could be the difference between winning the division or going out and winning in the postseason, in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see. That's why I think he should just go out there and play.
Is your Jerry Jones topic long or is it like really quick?
Well, it goes back. It was kind of tied in with the Dak and CeeDee Lamb thing. That's why I was going to say it was a good way to transition.
Mm-hmm.
I can touch on it. I could act it if you want, and then we can go. It's not going to be long. It just depends on what we really use to back up our opinion.
Okay, because I had just 2 really quick ones. Well, we'll save the Patriots one last.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So we'll do Jerry Jones first.
You want me to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Jerry Jones was interviewed. He gives media, he gives us something to talk about when he talks on the mic. He said he's all in. He's all in on winning. He wants to win. He's all in. We've heard that in the past, right? So my question to you and Bree, and I'll answer it after you guys go. Is he all in to win? I'll start with June. And I don't want to give you the reason I'm asking the question. I want to see if you can pick up what I'm trying to put down with it. What's your take, June?
No. It
Why?
can't be. I think is Jerry Jones all into winning? I think if he would have, he would have solidified and he would have saved a key piece to that team. And he would have showed that team that I'm all into winning. I would have signed CD Lamb off the rip. Hey, I'm all into winning, and this is why we're gonna keep this best player. And I'm gonna bring this guy in, and we're gonna keep this best player. And I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. Right now, it just seems like it's year after year. I mean, Bree and I talked about it last year too, and it just seems like the Dallas Cowboys make the least noise. And don't get me wrong, they somehow find success. Maybe that's why they do it, but that success only leads them but so far. But right now, I think they're in a critical position to, I don't think, because of that right there, I don't think that he's all into winning. I think he's all into just maybe winning the East. And that's his Super Bowl nowadays.
Okay, Bree.
I agree with June. I don't think he's into winning. And the main reason is because he's not doing everything in his power to fix that team to be able to make it to the next steps.
I agree. That's what I was going to say. And I want to see what you guys are going to say. I think Jerry knows what's up by now. I don't think Dak's going to be there next year unless they can rehab whatever's going on right now. Dak had a press conference where he was pretty much like, yeah, if I'm here next year, I'm here, but I'm gonna just do my job and play the game and blah blah. I would love to stay here. But how he came across was pretty much like, I'm out. After this, I'm done. If you valued me, you would have paid me. If you valued our success, I'm assuming CeeDee Lamb will be on the team getting paid right now. And he's not. So I don't think that he's all in. But I also feel like Jerry Jones is the problem with that team too as well. So, I mean, that's just, for me, it's you're too involved in the day-to-day operations when you hire people for that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't think he's all in. If he was all in, you would have paid CD. You would have probably extended Dak out some more. They could do these extensions where you get your money in the back end. And doesn't hurt. It doesn't take a hit on the salary cap. So I don't know. I think they're all full of crap anyways. But that's it, Bree. That's all I wanted to ask.
Okay, my next topic, you kind of touched on it a little bit, Frank, is that oh no, we have, all right, so the Jets placed Hassan Reddick on reserve did not report list. So as we know, Hassan Reddick was traded from the Eagles to the Jets. He has not made contact with the head coach or the GM. Not one phone call, not one text message, did not show up to OTAs, mandatory OTAs. We then later found out that he was in Japan living his best life. And then now he has not shown up to training camp. He also didn't participate in minicamp and still has not made not one single lick of contact with anybody in the Jets organization. That is wild.
I just cut him. I would cut him. This is
do you think that he feels some type of way that he was traded from Philadelphia to New York?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he probably does feel some kind of way because you're going from a franchise that's consistently in the talks of making it to a franchise that's not. And Hassan Reddick didn't start off with the Eagles either. He started off with the Miami Dolphins or the Chargers?
No, Panthers.
The Panthers, and they were using him as a linebacker in the Panthers, which didn't do anything for him. He comes over to the Eagles, they put him on the edge, and this dude's getting sack after sack after sack, right? So, yeah, he probably feels some kind of way, but everybody knows the Jets have a good defense, too. And it's a defensive head coach over there. And with the fact that you bring Aaron Rodgers in, people start giving him a little bit more success than what they probably would get credited for anywhere else. I blame the Jets for this because you knew he's going to want to demand a contract. You knew it. When you brought him over, you knew he was going to demand a contract. And for all intents and purposes, this is a great player. He's a good player. His numbers have not declined. He's a force when he's on the field. However, at the same token, guess what, Jets? You got a choice to make. You can cut him and let him go about his business, or you can pay him and bring him back. That team already has enough distractions as it is, in my opinion. Between
Right.
the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, Salah not and he's in the hot seat.
He's so handsome.
To me, he's why add more to the distractions already?
He's a super handsome bald man.
That's why he has like 5 kids, Bree. Because somebody thinks the same thing too.
A lot of people think he's probably top 5, I'll say top 3 most attractive head coaches in the league.
That's it.
I'd say top 2.
Well, don't forget about Doug Peterson.
Oh God,
maybe top 1.
But no, so
go back and look.
Doug P.
What approach would you take, Bree?
He's in a bottom 32, Jew.
What is this fucked up? What approach would you take, Bree? He's not there. He's not even communicating. What do you think it is?
I feel like he's salty. Like you said, he's going to an organization that hasn't had as much success, and they also have a lot of drama. But I feel like that the Jets defense isn't too bad. You know, there's some great weapons. There's some key players on the defense that him going to the defense will better it for more success. But I do think that he is salty about the situation, hence why he never even contacted the coach or had any conversations with anybody on the team, like not one lick of, not even a hi, you know? So that to me shows like that pure saltiness when it comes to the situation, because you can't even introduce yourself, you know? So I would say bounce, peace, goodbye.
So June, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he even play last season for the Jets? They traded for him, but I think he was hurt, right? He was hurt.
No, he ended up playing. He ended up playing last year. He was hurt the first few games because he had surgery in his thumb.
But he ain't played for the Jets.
No.
He played for the Eagles. He just got traded during free agency.
Again.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a free agent. They just traded him.
Yeah, there you go. I'm out. Peace out. That's probably what he is, Bree. He's salty.
Mm-hmm.
He let's say last year he played all 17 games. He had one. I don't know what I got to look at that with them. Pass defended by a defensive player. He has 1. He has 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles, recoveries, 11 sacks. He had 11 sacks, which is still good. 11 sacks is good. So, and he's consistent. He had 12 he was in Arizona, then Carolina, and then Philly. So in Arizona in 2020, he did 12 and a half sacks. Carolina, 11 sacks. When he got to Philly, he ate 16 sacks and 11 sacks. He started eating more. I just feel like you haven't even played for us, bro. You haven't even put the uniform on. And you're not even talking to us. You got to go. I'll take the loss. I'll take the hit.
Like not even a hi, like no communication whatsoever. They've been trying. They said it a couple of months ago when they found out he was in Japan. They've tried contacting him. They texted him. No text backs, no callbacks, no voicemails returns, nothing.
This goes back to the whole negotiation of contracts with these quarterbacks too, right? When are you going to be honest and be stern and say, you know what, I go test the market like they did with Saquon? People criticize the Giants for what the Giants did, but when I watch the show and I go back and I watch it, and I'm like, you know what?
I think it was just the way the conversation went.
Yeah, I think
it's not what happened. It was how the conversation went. You know.
Yeah, but they let him test the market. You know, and I felt Saquon felt like that was slap in the face, and he went with the Eagles, and I get it. Look, get rid of him. You don't need you already have enough distractions. You're the Jets. You haven't won a Super Bowl since the 60s, and you're in the talks of every talk show because of Aaron Rodgers. Like, just get rid of him. Just get rid of Hassan Reddick. Just let him go.
Okay, second to last topic, then we have pictures. Okay, I promise. So Russell Wilson was out of week 1 of training camp with the calf injury. And Justin Fields started at training camp week 1, the whole week. And boy, don't he look good! Woo! He looked amazing under center. I was watching all those clips all week, and he looks phenomenal. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. I just got happy. So with with Russell Wilson facing a calf injury, does that open the doors for Justin Fields to start sooner as the QB1?
If he's still hurt, because remember the calf injury that was Burrow's problem, and that carried into the regular season, and he got injured with something else. They say them soft tissue injuries are the worst ones. So yeah, if Russell's still hurt with a calf muscle, I see him starting. But if Russell's healthy, Justin Fields isn't starting. I don't see it happening.
He looked good. You seen that deep ball, that deep pass to
but that's
Calvin
in
Austin?
practice, though. We got to see it when he's out there.
I know, but did you see how beautiful that ball was just spiraling?
Oh yeah, it looked great. But
it looked beautiful.
Look,
Frank, say it. Beautiful.
It looked beautiful, Bree. I'll do
that. No. Beautiful.
Beautiful. It looked good.
No.
Beautiful. Okay, Bree, that's what you're gonna get. That's it. That's it.
It looked good.
But no, it looked great. Yes, it looked good. And we hope, remember I said in the chat, maybe with an offensive line that's protecting him, he could probably be a better quarterback.
We can have more longevity with Justin Fields too.
Yeah, I mean, he's young.
He's young.
I don't think that, so first of all, I don't think Russell's going to be there next year.
No, me neither.
This was just a stopping point for Russell. And we all said it when he got traded. We think it's good because of the coaching. Mike T is a good coach. He knows how to talk to his players, get the best out of his players. I don't think that Sean Payton was treating with Russell with respect like he should have. And we're going to see a different kind of coaching from Mike T to Russell as far as giving him that pep talk. You know what I'm saying?
And Russell's turning a little hood over in Pittsburgh. He been hanging out with George Pickens a little longer. You don't see the music he posting on his. I'm just going to play one. Like anytime he posts a picture, you know how like when he posts like pictures on his Instagram, he puts like Christian music as like the profile music. Nah, let's listen to some of them. So you got Lil Baby.
Okay.
Like it's gonna start getting more ghetto and more ghetto.
Okay.
I went down and looked at from when Instagram first started allowing you to put music on your post, and everything was Christian. Everything was Christian.
I think what he's doing, right, with that, Bree, and I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up because it's more than just him, the music changing. It's the mindset and him adjusting to the players around him. That's leadership. That's leadership. See, Russell's not coming in there with the whole thing from Denver. Remember, they was criticizing him in Denver, saying that had his own office, his own parking space, or this other stuff, and then Sierra had a birthday party for him, and nobody showed up. This is different, Russ. This is a Russ that's coming in there saying, you know what? All that stuff y'all talked about me, I'm going to show you something different. That's why.
Right. And then don't forget also, Russell and Sierra took their kids to the amusement park in Pittsburgh, and like 40% of the team showed up and celebrated with them.
Yeah, you see,
and all the rookies.
That shows a whole difference than what he had in Denver. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be good. So going back to what I was saying, Russell, this is a pit stop. What I want for Russell, honestly, I want him to get y'all a playoff win. I want the playoff win because I know people probably saying, when whoever's listening to this later is going to say, Frank, why just a playoff win? Well, like you said, since 2017, they haven't won a playoff. You get to do that. You're kind of resurrecting your career a little bit. And now you're buying your stock to go somewhere else and maybe get it happening. And it gives the Pittsburgh Steelers a taste of what they were used to consistently before, is at least winning in the playoffs and making a run, you know?
Look at Russell Wilson and Calvin Austin.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think it's good for us, man. I think, June, you think that Justin Fields gonna be starting week 1, or he's gonna be playing backup?
One.
You know, I'll tell you, man. It's funny. Again, man, I had some time to myself last week, cause you know, in and out of school. But golly, man, I forgot that dude, that bald head guy with the huge ears on ESPN. He said, he goes, I'm almost 90% certain that that what's his name? That Russell Wilson won't be starting by week 6. And you know, it was a bold statement.
I've heard that too.
Yes. I don't know, man. It's all up. Do you remember we spoke about offsides? And I'll ask Bree this question because you know the answer. What does your OC, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields have in common?
They were all shooted away from their teams.
Final answer?
Yeah, they were all gone.
Right. They were all fired from their positions, right? So they have
used the word fired for
that's what they used, right? So we're gonna use that word that they used. And the reason I didn't use that word.
Fields was traded. Fields was traded.
He was
for a bag of chips
in
a Sunny D.
What word did you use? Shoosh? What was it?
Whooshed.
All right. And so they were whoosh, right? So all 3 of them were whooshed away.
Not so whoosh.
I think because of that right there, do you think, Bree, that will make it that much more competitive? Because their life, their tenure, and their career is on the line for all 3. Their tenure based on Fields, the rest of their career based on Wilson, and their coaching position based on your OC. Because I think all 3 are going to have to prove something at one point or another.
No, I agree. I think all 3 of them have to prove something at some point with this organization. So yeah, I agree with you. I do think that they have to prove something and they have to give it all they got.
So the pressure is all on Russell versus the other 2. True. I think so. I believe.
Yeah, so. I would say Russell. I would say Russell. I wouldn't say Justin Fields. Only because he can't have longevity. He's still young in the game. Russell's been there a lot longer. And then also for but no, because I can also say Arthur Smith too, because of our track records for OCs haven't been the greatest. So he's under a lot of pressure too, only because let's not forget, June, the entire nation, college football, hockey games, baseball games, freaking tennis games, every NFL game that even wasn't a fucking Steelers NFL game, the chant "Fire Canada" went global, you know? So our offensive coordinator position hasn't been the greatest in these last few years. So I feel like he's under pressure too, only because of that. So that's my answer. I have one picture. I know you have to leave in like 3 minutes, June. I have one picture I have to get your answer on too.
And I was going to tell you really quick, given the fact that Arthur did not want Justin Fields in Atlanta, do you think that's going to cause some type of, has it caused any type of temblor between those 2 now that he's the OC over there in Pittsburgh? And Frank gave me his answer over there before, so I guess I want to hear yours.
What was the question one more time?
Arthur did not want Justin Fields. He didn't believe in Justin Fields. And during the draft, he said, nope, I don't want him over there. He didn't believe he had talent, right? And we'll find a clip to get the correct words. But ultimately, he didn't believe in Justin Fields' talent. That's why he did not draft him in Atlanta.
They drafted Desmond Ridder instead. And I think it's because of the success of Justin Ridder in college versus Fields.
So do you think that may have something to do with their relationship within that OC position and a quarterback position?
No, I don't. Okay. I feel like they're past that, especially because with Arthur Smith being the head coach of Atlanta at the time, he was looking more at his team. You know, now they're in the same team. They're on the same team and they're in the same universe. You know, I think it's different. That's just like when we hired. Oh my gosh, what's his name? What the hell is his name? He was the Miami Dolphins head coach, and we We hired him as our assistant defensive coordinator. What was his name?
Brian Flores?
Brian Flores, just like, Brian Flores coming over to Pittsburgh. But a year before that, he gave up Minka Fitzpatrick to us, and they didn't have a steady relationship prior to them being on the same team, but they put their differences aside because they're on the same team with the same goal, and I think that's the thing as well.
I like that answer.
All right, so June, I got 3 photos for you before you bounce. So the first one is, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see this logo?
Underdogs.
Mine will be Philly. What's yours, Frank?
You really want to know when I saw the picture what I thought of? June.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought about. June.
Yes. Also,
all right, second one. What will the Eagles' records be after 5 games? So week 1, you have Packers, week 2, Falcons, week 3, Saints, week 4, Buccaneers, and then week 5, the Browns. So what do you think your record would be after the first 5 games?
5-0.
Okay, Frank.
At 5-0. I'm going 3-2.
I'm going 4-1. All right, what 2 games do you have, or what 2 games do you have them losing?
Green Bay and Browns.
The game I have them losing is Green Bay, week 1.
I think they'll beat Atlanta. It's Kirk Cousins. He come back with injury. Saints, we don't know what they're gonna look like. Bucks, another thing. But they're at Bucks, at Saints. I wanna say 5-0, to be honest with you. If my concern, and we didn't talk about it on this, is the fact that Jalen's having issues with the playbook and the play calling.
Can I have this?
So that's a concern for me. Also, who's their OC now again, June? Your guy, Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore?
Every quarterback that Kellen Moore has had was better after Kellen Moore left. While they were there, interceptions were higher. So, he already doubled his interceptions last season. Can this work for Kellen Moore and him? You know what I'm saying? So I'll say 3-2.
And the last photo, I don't remember if you were on the podcast when we discussed this, June, but there's 2 more, sorry. Which team has better weapons? Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, or CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Joe Mixon?
It's gonna sound biased, but the only reason I'm gonna go with the Eagles is because Tank Dell coming off of that ACL surgery or the Achilles tear, and he didn't play all last year afterwards. So that would be my my reasoning.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I picked Eagles too when we first did this, and I said only because we don't know the connection between Stephon Diggs and CJ Stroud yet, and then Joe Mixon. But where Joe Mixon and Saquon being running backs on new teams, like that's like the even level playing field. But Stephon Diggs being the wide receiver 1 with CJ Stroud, we don't know what that connection looks like yet.
Yeah, I think so.
And the last photo, June, I know you gotta go. Your team needs a QB2. Who you signing?
He's going with Nick Foles. He's going with Nick Foles.
But he's also a Fitzmagic guy.
Yeah, but Nick Foles got him their first Super Bowl. He's not gonna go with nothing else.
I'm gonna show you who I'm gonna go with. You guys looking?
Yes.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
Nick Foles holding the Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, and I don't blame him because I would go Foles too.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he went to the playoffs under Chip Kelly. Then they traded him off, and then they bring him back. I mean, he did his. He served his purpose, and you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. But all right. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go.
All right, bye, June.
All right, y'all. Hey, it's a good episode. I'll talk to y'all later tonight. I'll let you know how it is.
All right. I'm just gonna leave this up because I just already put all the pictures on. But the last topic I wanted to talk to you about, Frank, I seen this on Twitter 2 days ago. Patriots coach Gerard Mayo left the door open for rookie quarterback Drake May to win the starting job. But as of now, it's clear Jacoby Brissett is the most pro-ready. For a team still transitioning, sitting a rookie number 3 pick as long as possible could help long term. How do you feel about that?
I think it's good. Again, we're not in competition for anything. We're not in competition.
You're in rebuild mode.
Yeah, we're in rebuilding. It's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. I was telling Nikki this the other day, my wife. I was saying how all these talk shows they really they just counting us out really, really bad. And it's so frustrating because you want to be like, yo, put some respect on it, right? But then it's like they can't do that when we haven't shown nothing lately. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good. I think sitting back. I mean, Jacoby. I've liked Jacoby. I've always said that he was drafted. He was recommended by Parcells. That's why we drafted him. He helped us win a game when Brady was suspended. He was part of that Super Bowl winning team. I just feel he never got the fair shake anywhere else because a lot of teams just want to win. But I think it'd be fine for this year. And I'm telling people, I'm saying, don't be surprised that there's some games we win on the back of our defense. So I think it's good. Let Drake May sit. They already said he has some mechanic issues. He has some issue with mechanics. He has issues with picking, like being patient, picking the right route, maybe knowing when to check down, stuff like that. So I think that in the game, but now let's say after the bye week, we are not in any position to do anything. I might give him a few snaps out there. Let him get a taste of it, like they kind of did with Mahomes after Alex Smith. Remember, towards the end of that season, I might, let him get a chance of seeing what it looks like in the, to be starting and stuff like that, and let him get his feet wet because you never know, he might be great. People forget, Peyton Manning wasn't great his first couple of years or his first year, 2 years. He struggled. So I'm not saying he's Peyton Manning, but what I am saying is, I think.
No. I get what you're saying.
So let's see. I want to see when is our bye week. That's why before I say anything, but I don't see it because I'm not looking at the schedule like I should be looking at the schedule. But this is old. Okay, so preseason. It doesn't show the bye on here. Let me. Yeah, I don't know. I want to know. I mean, I think that's a good sit them out, let them see what's up, learn. But we've talked about that with other quarterbacks, right? We've talked about how they need to let them sit more instead of putting them out there. Yeah, I still don't know when our bye week is. It's just crazy because it's not showing it. So I guess I'll figure it out later. But yeah, I think sitting down is good, man. I mean, I don't see an issue with it.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Our bye week is week 14. So that's perfect. If by week 14, you know that you're not making the playoffs, which we'll know that by Christmas time. Well, no, that's right, but around Christmas time. Then yeah, the last few games, look, we got Arizona, Buffalo, Los Angeles, and Buffalo. 2 divisional games that are going to be crucial for us if we're in any kind of competition. You know what I'm saying? So our schedule this year is crazy. Cincinnati week 1, Seattle, New York. Then we got San Francisco week 4, Houston week 6, the Rams week 11. Like, that's crazy. So we'll see what's up.
Okay. So this is the most sacks record since 2020. So with 60 plus sacks since 2020, you have TJ Watts with 62 in tier 1 and tier 2. You have Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson, with 58 and 53. So that just tells you something about the AFC North. Like, yes, we got the monsters. And in tier 3, you have Hassan Reddick at 50.5 sacks in the last 4 years, and Nick Bosa at 44.5. You see, and this is where Hassan Reddick is a dum-dum, because look how many sacks you had in the last 4 years, and you're about to ruin your whole career over a trade.
The point is these players don't care. First off, TJ Watt, Hall of Fame career is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? A phenomenal player defensively, a beast. he'll go up there as top defensive players of all time as time progresses, you know. Miles Garrett, all these other guys are good. You know, this tier. It's funny, man, because how many of these defensive players would be good if they didn't have help? We know TJ by himself is a monster. Miles Hendrickson, Bosa, Chris Jones. You know, he's the reason the Chiefs started doing better. That defense was holding up. Max Crosby, we know he's good. Khalil Mack, I mean, consistently. Donald just retired, but still good. Judon, I'm a fan of Judon. Even when he was on the Ravens, I think he's come to us and been even better. So you know, this is good. This is good. But this is, you know, if we're gonna be honest, and I'm not trying to, you know, give this dude too much, like I'm on my knees for him, but that TJ Watt is what you want to aim to be as a defensive player. A total disruptor. You know, Aaron Donald's another guy. You know, he might not have the sacks, but Donald a lot of times was getting double teamed, triple teamed. You know what I'm saying? So Brian Burns, another guy that just came over to the Giants from Carolina. It's a good lineup right here. A lot of these guys are still young too. Quinnen Williams, the Jets, come on. And yeah. I wonder how many have all these guys. They're not all these guys been playing since 2020. These guys, some of these guys came in after the fact, right?
After the fact, no. No. I think everyone has been drafted from 2020 and prior. Yeah.
Micah was 2020?
Micah was in 2020, yeah. Micah Parsons got drafted in 2020.
But he started 2021.
Did he really?
Yeah. He's been active for since 21, 22, and 23. So it's 3 years. Who else? I'm trying to look at these young players, right? Because that speaks volumes. Look, if you think about it.
Oh, no, he got drafted in 2021. He was in the 2021 NFL draft.
Let me see something. Why?
And he's only one because Brian Burns got drafted in 2018.
Yep, 19. He started his first season in 19.
Or
so
yeah.
See, out of all these Josh Allen is another one that I don't think was playing. Yeah, no, 19, I think. Yeah, hold on, let me see.
No, I want to say that Josh Allen was 19.
Yeah, he was 19 too. So he's been in the league for a minute. So the reason I'm looking at this is because you take a person like Micah that's 40 and a half sacks, and he's playing significantly less time, only 2-3 years in the league. Where would that put him at in the next 3 years? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. The Green Bay got some guys up here too. Look, they got 3 guys up here.
Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, and then Zadarius Smith.
Let me see, man. I'm trying to think. Montez Sweat. I think he's been in the league for a minute.
Josh Sweat too. Judon's been in the league for a minute. Leonard Floyd's been in the league, I want to say a little minute. Khalil Mack, yeah. Max Crosby, yes.
Montez Sweat's first year starting was 2019. Yeah, this is, I think next time I'm going to do some research because I really like to know what year they were drafted to see the impact and where they could be at. You know? Because if you got a guy that's putting up numbers, right? Let's say TJ Watt has been in the league since 17. Yes. And he got 62 sacks. And he's been in the league since when I said
2017.
Since 2017.
But this is since 2020.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you look at Micah. Micah's at 40 and a half. That's not bad.
And Micah's at 40 and a half in 3 years versus 64. Yeah. So if you do 40 divided by 3, so he averaged 13 sacks a season. Now, if you do 62 divided by 4, Watt average 15. Well, we know he's at more than 15.
It'd be 5, Bree, because you're counting the 2020 season, 2021, 22, 23. So it'd be 4 seasons. Yeah, you're right. 4.
Yeah,
4.
that's what I said 4, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Micah. What's up, Nikki? Micah.
Hi.
Parsons.
All right. Who is the best LSU player to wear the number 7? Don't get this wrong.
Man, it's going to be mother effing. Honestly, I don't know because they're 2 defensive players and 1 offensive player. So
And the only one defensive player is the only one with a national championship game in LSU and was the only defensive Heisman.
Was it the Honey Badger?
LSU, Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, Honey Badger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says championship on his hat.
Yeah.
You know why I don't like the Honey Badger, but
I know.
Player.
When he got to the NFL, he wasn't well liked, but in college he was well respected.
Yeah, no,
and liked.
He's good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. I don't know for this. I'll give it to him. It doesn't really make me none, but Bree, to answer, yeah, you're right. Your average was about right. 13 first year, 13 and a half second year, 14 his third year. So that's not bad. He keeps getting better. He keeps getting better. So that's only going to be going up for him there.
Yeah, he just needed his attitude straightened out.
He's young. These guys they young players. Oh my God.
Okay. Which one of these quarterbacks will win a Super Bowl first?
I don't know. If you would have asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have told you Burrow. Yeah, I don't know. I think Burrow will probably win it first. But if you look at the NFC being a better chance of getting all the way and winning, then you got Hurts already been.
And Goff was close to going.
Yeah, Goff was there. They should have went, and he's been to one before, but it's going against Patrick Mahomes. I think if Burrow gets to another one, he's winning. I think if he can get over Patty.
Do you think CJ Stroud were to play against the Chiefs, right? Let's just hypothetically say that CJ Stroud beat Ravens and he went to the AFC Championship game. Do you think that CJ Stroud would have had a good chance beating Mahomes in that championship game?
I don't know. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't know.
No, I agree because he looked horrible against Baltimore.
It's the defense too, right? Look, let's before we go further, let's look at what the Chiefs did this last playoff run. They went on the road. They had one game at home against Miami. We already knew they were going to beat Miami.
It was negative 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, we knew they're not going to play good outside, so we knew that. But they went to Buffalo where we thought, hey, they're going to lose. They won. Then they go to Ravens where I thought they were going to lose because I'm like, oh, this is the year, and they won. So, but I was telling my cousin this. They didn't win solely on the fact that they had Patrick Mahomes and company. They won with mental games too. If you remember the Ravens game, Kelsey was talking trash, getting in the head. He didn't get hit for taunting. But old boy got a first down or something like that and looked at the player on a nice catch, taunting, reversed the play, 15-yard penalty. And it's in their head at that point. It's like, man, no matter what we do, they talking shit to us, they don't get a flag. They're holding us, they don't get a flag. We do something, we get the flag. So mentally, you're already beat because you're not only beating a team, you're not only facing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you're facing Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Taylor Swift fans, and the referees. And the same thing in Buffalo. So I think to put in perspective, if Burrow or Allen can get past, I think they'll win. CJ Stroud last year, I think it was a lot to ask, but it's matchups too, right? It's matchups. It's which defense is going to show up, who's going to make the mistakes. CJ Stroud being a rookie at the time, I think would have made the mistakes that Mahomes wasn't going to make to lose the game. So I don't think he would have did it, but to answer this question, I would say probably Burrow. That's just me, unless
I can see.
Nick?
Ooh, I think I don't think I know. I 100% agree with you. You got to understand sometimes, right? Everybody's not kind of made the same. And even though CJ had a great success, sometimes when you get to some big games or whatever, just the excitement of being at the big game, you know, and playing somebody that right now is a lights out kind of person when it's big games. You're just bound to make mistakes. And not because you're not great. It is just what it is. I think CJ will be what we think he will be. Just need a little bit of time. And I think he did well for his first year. So you know, things shaked out the way it was supposed to. Then again, like Frank said, it was a lot of games that we thought, hey, they're gonna win this one. And they did. And games we like, oh, you know, and they won it. So I just don't think CJ just probably wasn't ready at this time.
Yeah, I think don't get me wrong, I think he's a great player. I think he's gonna be great.
Absolutely.
And I like what I'm hearing about reports that he's been tired because he's been up watching films. They've been telling him to get rest because he's been staying up watching films and studying. We've seen a lot of takes, Bree, of him on social media where Micah Parsons talking about football, talking about play designs. We know he gets the game. The question with that guy now with moving forward in this season is going to be how does he perform when now they have tape. And now we add Stephon Diggs. And now there's a lot of expectations. And you got Joe Mixon. It's like, whoa. But no, you know, in this, and you can look at this different, right? We can say in the AFC side, we think Burrow win it first. But then we can look at the NFC side and say, well, what if Hurts gets back to him? He had 3 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing touchdown. He didn't really cost them the game. Let's just be honest. Yeah, he had a turnover, but y'all had a double-digit lead going into the half. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all on Hurts. But then I look at Goff and I'm like, hey, the Lions could have won last year. And I think the Lions would have gave the Chiefs a run for their money in the Super Bowl because of matchups. You got the matchups. They got Amon St. Brown. They have a quarterback that's been there before, running back that was good, defense that was stout, and they were riding that high, that wave of, yo, look where we at. Who that? What up, though? You know what I'm saying? What up, though? So it was like, I don't know. But I think to answer the question, I'm gonna go Burrow. And my question to y'all after seeing this is, do you think Lamar would ever win one?
So you know what, to be honest, that's a good question, Mark. But even as you're talking, the question kind of lies to Burrows too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like Joe. I like what he do, but just like Lamar, when it matters, they can't get over the hump.
Yeah, that last AFC championship game, he threw too many picks. They had the Chiefs beat, and he threw picks and was making bad decisions there. I felt he got a little too cocky trying to force the ball into double coverage to Chase and T. Higgins when he could have did other things. So,
but I feel like I'm holding on to that year that they were, you know, when they played the Rams.
I think the difference is too, though, Nikki, is that we've seen Burrow at least show up in the postseason and do good. Lamar, you know, they beat up the Texans, which they should have beat the Texans at home, right? But even that game I don't think was real cute and pretty. I think we was watching that game talking about the gameplay and how well they wasn't playing. They were lucky that the Texans didn't have the experience that, let's say, the Chiefs have. You know what I'm saying? But I think that when it came down to it, Burrow's more composed, I would say, in the gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Where Lamar, like, I don't know. Look, all of us were disappointed last year when they lost to the Chiefs. All of us. We thought that was Lamar's year to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right? Number 1 seed, MVP. You were throwing the ball better. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the mistakes was the one that caused them the game. You know, throwing the ball into the end zone when he didn't need to. He could have chucked it down, still got the first down, got closer. You know, when you're playing a team like the Chiefs, you can't have those mistakes because they're going to capitalize. Same thing with the Bengals the year before in the AFC Championship with the guy pushing Mahomes out of bounds, even though we all felt like, really, you're going to throw the flag for that? But guess what? It's Mahomes. They're the team, right? So here goes the flag, 15 yards closer or 10 yards. Yeah, it was 15 yards, 10 yards, whatever. Field goal. They won the game. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I think, I don't know. Lamar's a big question mark. It's a big
I
question.
mean, I don't know. I don't disagree with you. I think the question just made me really think about Joe. I think they both have their own little success in their own little way, but at the end of the day, they both keep getting the. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, we asked this earlier when we was talking about quarterbacks, and I said, how many quarterbacks are really winning?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not regular season. Let's not. We talking about.
And okay, and I'm happy you said that because that's what I was thinking about Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has a like regular season, and he's a little bit more successful. And I'm not saying that he's not successful during the regular season, right? But you know, sometimes it's a juggle, and they find some way,
They start off slow.
Yeah, and they find some way to still make it postseason, but still end up back on the couch. Where Lamar might have a great season, and then postseason they end up at the couch, right? And then that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like their strengths and weaknesses, in a sense, if you want to put it like that, happens at different times, but the results are still the same. They both still end up on the couch, you know? And where I think Joe's a little bit more composed as a quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Not too easily, startled or whatever. But it's like, bro, when are we gonna, and I think why I'm hitting so hard, and I'm not giving Lamar a pass, but why I'm hitting so hard for Joe was I saw the success that year, and I think I've held on to that. That man, Joe just had a little bit of thingy. They would have won the Super Bowl when they went against the Rams. Then I think I've held on to that. Now I'm like, shit, that was 4 or 5 years ago. Like, come on, Nikki, now you gotta,
Well,
they not even close to that no more.
Well, the thing is, we holding on to that because we saw the potential. Then we all, and
but Frank, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. It's so right now, you was working, so you missed the topics, but these quarterbacks getting paid all this money.
I was gonna say that, but I knew y'all covered it. That's why I didn't say nothing.
But looking at this list right here in front of us, there's only 2 quarterbacks. Three that's been to the Super Bowl out of this 9 players here. You got Burrow, you got Hurts, and Goff been to one. You know what I'm saying? Recent success as far as NFC championships or conference championships, Burrow, Hurts, Goff, and Allen are the only ones that have been to a conference championship. Oh, okay, and my bad, and Lamar this last year. Out of 9 quarterbacks right here that we're looking at, who we think would win one first.
So who's the bust out of the 9?
Oh, I would say Dak. Just because I think Dak has the longest time in the league out of all these guys. I want to say he's got over 8 years already. Let me see. Yeah, he came in 2016, right? Lamar came in 18.
That's what I thought, 18.
And Josh Allen was 18 as well. So they came in after Dak, and Dak's they had how many Pro Bowlers they had or all pros they had on their team last year? Like 11 Pro Bowls?
9
Pro Bowlers. That's a lot. That's a lot, and you still couldn't get it done. I want to say, weren't they the number 1 seed in the NFC? No, it was the 49ers. I'm bumping my head. They were number 2 seed though, I think, and got handed a butt whooping by the damn Packers at Jerry World. So I think Dak is the biggest.
Yeah, you're right.
Herbert, we don't know. Herbert got to show something to me this year.
Man,
the hard
I
ball.
was about to say, I didn't even see that because I got stuck at Herbert. Like, come on, bro.
I think Herbert got to show something. But again, my opinion, answer the question. Joe Burrow is the one I'm going with. I'm banking with here. If I had to pick one for AFC and NFC, the NFC, I'll probably go Jalen.
Yep.
But
there's a toss up.
It could be Goff too. I mean, the Lions ain't getting
the Lions. Yeah,
they didn't get worse. They got better, and I think the head coach learned from his mistakes last season. So it's gonna be a lot to see. You know what we should have did, Bree? You know how you did the record for the Eagles, the first 5 games? We should
I
get
have a few more that I'm gonna do throughout the weeks before the season
okay.
starts.
I was gonna say we could did that for the Lions too, because that's gonna be interesting.
The Lions, you know,
The NFC's up for grabs, in my opinion.
Yes, it is.
you know, we've been so happy with the Lions with their progression. I don't see it declining. You know what I mean?
I hope not. That city, Jesus, man. They need help. That city needs some kind of love. You know, something to give them. So I hope not. I hope not. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Look.
All right, start bench trade. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill.
Oh my God.
All right.
Ooh, this is tough.
I'm gonna start actually in that order.
I'm starting Tyreek. I'm benching Jay Jettas, and I'm trading Chase to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the only smart thing to do.
I don't know.
That's what I'm doing. Started Tyreek, benching Jay Jettas, and I am trading Jamar Chase to the Pittsburgh Steelers from the Bengals.
I'm gonna start Tyreek only because I know that he's been successful in 2 different teams with one with a great quarterback on one, and then another one that we'd be like, oh, what's going on?
Still questionable.
Yeah. And I would probably bench. I got a love for Chase, so I'm probably gonna bench Chase, and I'm gonna take a book out of Breeze Page and trade Justin Jefferson to the good old New England Patriots and put him over there. He's not gonna do nothing this year, but he'll be okay.
Beautiful.
He'll be earning some money for nothing.
All right, choose 4 teams to make the toughest division possible.
That's not fair. You got the North in here, right? AFC North?
Yeah, I'm just going to pick the AFC North because that is the toughest division.
It is the toughest division.
But you can always also do Kansas City.
Right?
You can mix them. You could do Kansas City, San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles, and let's say let's do another AFC. And let's say Baltimore Ravens.
That's what I was looking at.
You can with the AFC, if you want to pick 2, Chiefs are going to be up there because they just won it. You got to. You could put the Bengals up there too.
Yeah, you can.
You know what I'm saying? You could put the Bengals. You could put the Ravens. I don't know, man. Your boy Keon got me. He's got me.
That's my baby. Did you see his Family Feud?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be for Buffalo, man. I think he's gonna be actually pretty good for Buffalo.
That's my baby.
But I think I'm
gonna go watch the Buffalo Bills go to LA Rams December the 1st. So I'm gonna go see their game.
I hate not having a stadium next to me at all. Like I have to drive either 3-4 hours one way, 6 or 8 hours the other way. It's a flight for me to go see somebody play. My cousin's gonna be at the Commanders and Giants game the weekend of my birthday, I think.
How nice.
It's a flight for me too.
Not to Dallas?
Not to Dallas.
I ain't going over there. That's the problem.
Oh, see, I would go.
No. Okay, yeah.
I've been, and I mean, you also, okay, so one of my biggest things is my favorite player on the Dallas Cowboys ain't showed up to camp yet.
CD.
So
yeah,
that's $115,000 down the drain.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and the Dallas Cowboys problem is the owner. That's first, and secondly is they've made some bad decisions. Like you paid Zeke before you paid Dak. Then you had to pay Dak. Now you got to pay Micah coming up, and you got CeeDee Lamb there that wants to get paid. And we all know that CeeDee is the best player on the team. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. And now you had old boy retired too. What's his name? Gallup retired.
Michael Gallup.
Well, but Gallup left.
So yeah, he did. They got rid of Amari Cooper.
But kind of made me want to wonder why he I don't want to say retired so early, but
I think these guys realize, look, if I'm not going to win a Super Bowl, what's the point of coming out here and playing?
That and also like health of their bodies and stuff too. So
I mean, we know their body do get some wear and tear, you know?
Look at Aaron Donald, 10 years in the league. And when he does, or any interview he does and podcast he does, he says, I never meant to stay as long. I won a Super Bowl. After Super Bowl, I won it out. By year 8, he won it out. And he did 2 more years.
I know Ben was 18 years, but he said as his watching his kids get older and not being there as much, it starts to hit you more that you're because football is year round. You get 3 weeks of free vacation before you got to report to OTAs, you know? So
it's
and them 3 months feel like through, you know, whatever, feel like 3 days.
yeah, well, no, they have 3 weeks of vacation and then they start OTAs right afterwards. So
and then there's a break between last camp and then preseason starting. Like training,
the break.
There's a week or so there that they get right before they go into training camp, and then it's all it's all gas from there. So
till February, and then they get that month break too.
Yeah.
From that.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, like, as you get older, I mean, these people are still young, right? But with what they take their bodies through, they get older, younger, and then the recovery isn't as, you know what I'm saying? Like, even for us that don't go through as rigorous of stuff that they go through, shoot, a month later or 2 months, like you feel certain things in your body that you didn't feel 2 months ago. And we don't even have such a high impact jobs day in, day out. You know what I'm saying? So where it was so funny, different sport, but just same mentality. I was watching something on Netflix about Simone Biles, right? And she was talking about when she was 20, whatever, or 22 or whatever, she called somebody a grandma or whatever for whatever move that she made. And she's like, you know, she's 27 and she realized her recovery. Then like she had to apologize for making such a statement 4 years prior. At 27, I'm like, shit, at 27, I still felt like, you know what I mean? So, you know, the training and she's not getting pound, you know, men, you know, whatever. So recovery also isn't as quick / easy as it was, even for them still in their 20s.
Yeah, no, it's different. Again, I don't know. I think you start realizing what's really important in life. You know, like at the end of the day, am I going to keep playing? And these guys that get traded so much, you got to think there's no loyalty for them. So why should I keep playing? And every time I get sent to another team, where's that team at? It's a difference. Like if you had your ring already, like Tyreek got a ring. So no matter where he goes, he's going to put up numbers. He got a Super Bowl. He's good. You know, it's one of those things where you've reached the top of the top. What else you got going on?
Yeah. All right. The first player that comes to mind when you see the number 39.
Bree, you did this last time, and I couldn't think of anybody, and I still
can't.
It was
the number.
No, but the one that she did last time, a number came in mind, but this 39 is nobody.
No. It's probably somebody from Pittsburgh, and it's a defensive player.
Well, no, all the players have similar numbers, just different teams. But yeah, because when she said it the last time, a player
I said the number 9 last time, and you didn't even think of Joe Burrow.
No,
see, mine was Drew Brees. As soon as I said, I was like, Drew.
I said Boswell and then Burrow, but number 39,
mine was Drew Brees.
The first player that comes to mind for me is Minkah Fitzpatrick. So
I thought about him, but I didn't know if that was his number or not.
Yeah, that's his number.
Nobody.
He is not a nobody. Don't do that. He is a 5-time Pro Bowler.
No, slow down.
He is.
Slow down. What I said nobody to was nobody came to mind with the number, not him being a nobody.
I drew a blank. I thought about Minkah
autobiography.
I know you about to say that. I'm like, no, I wasn't talking about him. I'm talking about the number.
2-time national champion with Alabama. I was gonna go all the way out.
Yeah, no, I was like nobody, as in the number. Nobody came to mind, not him per se.
Rank these great quarterbacks. You got Dan Marino, Brett Favre, John Elway, and A.A. Ron.
Oh, A Ron is last for me.
So what are we ranking them on? Is it if we go Super Bowl wins, then it's a different order. If we
we're just their position as a quarterback.
so I'm a little
Like,
biased. I'm a little biased. I'm gonna give you my ranking. I'm gonna go Marino 1, Brett Favre 2, Elway 3, Aaron last.
I'm gonna go Dan Marino 1, Elway 2, Elway 2. That sounds like Elway baby. Elway 2, Favre 3, Rodgers last. Nikki?
All I know is Rodgers last.
She never seen Elway play. She don't know.
I don't know Nam 3, but Rodgers. But he
I'm gonna
last.
tell you why I went the order I went, right? So of course Dan Marino was prolific. He went to a Super Bowl. He was at the time he was the youngest quarterback to go to Super Bowl. Then Big Ben did it and won. He never went back to Super Bowl though. He went to one and never went back. And we talking about a guy that was throwing for 4,000, 5,000 yards in his era. You know, that was not even heard of back then, but just never got to Super Bowl again after that first time. Brett Favre got to Super Bowl 1. He went to 2. He lost his second one to Elway, but he had 3 NFL MVPs back to back. I don't think nobody's ever done that. 3-peat consecutively in MVPs. Elway,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Elway went to 5 Super Bowls and won 2. You know, so and he won those later in his career. He had Shannon Sharp, got the running back. Can't even think of his name right now, but he's a Hall of Famer. And then Aaron, I just feel like, you know, it's Aaron. That's why I went the route I went with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick an order, and I want you guys to guess why I picked it in this order. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Brett Favre 1. Yep, Brett Favre 1, Dan Marino 2, Aaron Rodgers 3, and John Elway 4.
But it ain't schools because Favre didn't go to the Florida State.
None of them went to Florida State.
Yeah, so it's not the schools. You said 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yep, I said Brett Favre number 1, Dan Marino number 2, Aaron Rodgers number 3, and then John Elway number 4.
Passing yards.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Brett Favre has 71,838. Dan Marino 61,361. Aaron Rodgers 59,055. I said 055. And then John Elway's at 51,475.
Yeah, it was passing yards. At one point, Marino he was the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Total passing yards. That's crazy.
Yep. And then Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady came in the picture.
But then some people say that Marino's the greatest quarterback ever to not to have a ring. That if he had at least one ring.
Or Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, he's the greatest ever. Yeah, Phillip Rivers is another one.
Okay. Besides quarterback, what is the most important position in football? On a football team?
It depends how you look at it.
All right, so your perspective, Frank. But this is everyone's opinion. Okay. So to Francisco Ferreira, besides quarterback, what is the
left
most
tackle
important position on a football team? Okay.
Left
say
tackle.
left tackle.
Yeah.
Nikki. Text my daddy back.
I don't know. I give receivers such a hard time. Yeah, I don't. Oh, shit. Shit, the whole O-line. Whole line.
A position.
She said the whole line.
The whole offensive side, shit. Because I need the receivers to get it. I need the running back to run, the line to protect. So it's run the line.
Right. Bree, for
I
you.
did not hear what you just said.
I try to mash them all together.
Try to say pretty much the running back, wide receiver, offensive line all together.
Yeah. Break them up to make that position.
Who you got, Bree?
For me, I'm gonna go pass rusher.
See, I thought about that too, but
I think, Nikki, why you shaking your head? No.
Bree, you're good.
No, I just want to know why you're shaking your head. No. Because I feel like every team.
I'll
Go
tell you,
ahead.
I'm ordering a door stopper, and I didn't like.
I thought you were shaking your head no at me, because I think like each team should have that defensive playmaker. You know, like yes, you have your quarterback, but let's look at defense too. I'm gonna say pass rusher because you need that defensive playmaker right there on that line as well.
I was going to say pass rusher. I was. But the reason I changed my mind was not because I don't think it's important. We're going to a pass heavy off. We're going to an offensive game. That's what's happened. And it's all passers. So if I can't protect the quarterback, then so that goes to your point, right? You want to say pass rusher to get to the quarterback. Well, guess what I need to prevent that from happening? It's a good left tackle. And
But also, I'm gonna take a book out of. I'm gonna take a book out.
Yeah,
of
I mean, it's hard.
I'm also gonna take a book out of Frank's book right now, and I'm gonna say that defense wins championships. So we've seen teams with a shitty offense, but with a great defense, it helps them win games and championships. So take a book out of rebuttal yours.
Yeah,
rank these quarterbacks.
That's good. That's a good. I mean, listen, what I said earlier about the Patriots, if they're doing anything this year is getting the defense right. They're gonna rely on defense. Rank these quarterbacks. Oh, Jesus, here we go. So, again, are we doing rings or what's
yeah? Let's do rings.
Oh, that's the case. If Big Ben, then I will go probably Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and then Marino.
Well, that's why she went rings.
Yeah. Impact to the game.
Impact to the game. I'm gonna go Dan Marino, Big Ben, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers.
See, I would flip Drew Brees and Ben because Brees did something that Ben didn't do.
And what's that?
Bring a Super Bowl to New Orleans. Your team already had 4 when he won 2. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
so that's what I'm saying.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Now let's rank them on passing yards. So I'm not gonna tell y'all who, but y'all are going to try to put them in order by most passing yards to least. So Frank, you go first.
Oh, it's gonna be Brees at top.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Marino, Rodgers, and then Big Ben.
Nikki,
you said what are we doing?
You're gonna rank them by most passing yards.
Yeah, but
Frank,
you don't
look it up.
No, I'm not. I'm ordering look, I'm ordering that.
No. Go ahead, Nikki. Just guess. Frank guessed and he got it wrong.
You said rank these quarterbacks with passing yards?
Yeah. So Frank ranked his, rank them by who has the most passing yards to the least without knowing their numbers.
Probably. Probably in the order they're in.
It's Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Dan Marino, then Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, see, I knew Drew Brees is my first
I didn't know where Ben was at. Did you see did you see what I put up there? And
I said Ben's number 5 for all time.
See, I knew Drew Brees was number 1.
But did I tell you Did you see the one I put in the chat when I said Bree?
Yes, I seen that. My dad sent that to me. I was knocked out, and I saw it this morning, like when I woke up to take Toby out at 5:30, and then I went right back to bed. So that's why I didn't respond. But yes, I did see that. Babe, let's go apple picking.
But it says, yeah, Ben had 18 seasons, Roger had 18. Ben had 3 Super Bowl appearances, winning 2. Aaron had 1.
Beating us.
You said what?
Beating us.
Yeah. 13 playoff wins for Ben, 12 for Aaron. Yeah, Ben is 4th all time. Aaron's 9.
Ben is 5.
Yeah, 5 all time. Sorry, 5. Aaron's 9th all time. Ben he's number 3 in fourth quarter comebacks with 41. Aaron's number 28 with fourth quarter comebacks with 21. Ben's
I brought Ben here since we're talking about him, so he can speak for himself too.
Okay, yeah. Ben has more 500. Well, he's the only one with 4 500-yard passing games. Aaron has 0. And career wins, Ben is at 166. Aaron's at 149, which now with the Jets ain't really going to help him out to try to get that 166. But
so what do you think about that, Ben? I'm the GOAT.
Bree, the fact that he's almost the size of your face is like a real life figure.
Thanks. This is my baby, Benjamin Todd.
So what else we got?
All right. Rank these great safeties. All right. So Nikki, we have Lott, Reed, Troy Polamalu, and Brian Dawkins.
Who?
So she don't know. She's not gonna know, Bree.
Me, I'm gonna go Lott,
Mm-hmm.
number 1.
Yeah.
Time. Safety. Then I'm gonna go Troy Polamalu.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go Reed. Then I'm gonna go Brian Dawkins.
Okay.
That's my order.
I could do that. I could agree. Because to me,
I'm like, who are these people?
So Ronnie Lott was a problem, girl. Back
the greatest safety of all time.
Yeah, this dude, I think his finger, he had them do something to his finger in the game so he can come back to play the game. Like it was broken or something. I don't know what they did, but I think he lost his finger and came back and played. Like the dude was a problem. Like he would hit people. You wouldn't throw the ball. But you got to think that's the era of football.
You would think when someone, hit someone, like when he would hit somebody, you would think that they weren't coming back to life.
Yeah. I like Troy. Troy was,
but it was like the illegal hitting, you know?
Yeah, it was like what they can't do today. But Troy,
and they had less protection in their uniform.
It was very different then. But yeah, I think that's good. That's good. Dawkins, I mean, all these guys are Hall of Famers.
They're all great. They're all, top 5.
Yeah. Does Lott have a ring?
I don't know. Let me see.
I think he does. I'm not sure. Frankie would.
Production team, does Ryan Lott have a ring? My production team is getting it right now, Frank, aka my fingers.
Yeah, he has 4.
Ronnie Lott, not Ryan. Ronnie.
He's 4-time Super Bowl champ, and I want to say that's with the 49ers. Yeah. He Hall of Fame, 6 times All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowl. Yeah, that dude was a problem.
You know what I realized like 3 weeks ago watching Troy Polamalu speak to Minka Fitzpatrick?
What?
And I've never realized this the 30 years of living, but it hit me. You know who Troy Polamalu sounds like when he talks? That soft voice, because he has a soft voice and he talks just like Michael Jackson.
You think so? It is soft though. That voice is soft.
Michael Jackson.
As hard as he would hit people, it was very soft spoken.
Michael Jackson. Imagine getting freaking tackled and hit by him, and then he goes, "You good, bro? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you like that, but you good? You good?" He talks like Michael Jackson.
You're funny.
All right. So as NFL season is approaching, on Thursday, August 1st, we have the NFL Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio, the Houston Texans versus Chicago Bears. I think it's going to be a good one.
Are they going to play the starters, though? That's the thing. Are we going to see C.J. Stroud? Are we going to see Caleb Williams? That's the thing.
I think we're going to see Caleb Williams.
Okay. Because if we're going to see that, then, yeah, I'm saying it's going to probably be a great game. But
and then on preseason week 2, so these are the NFL preseason national televised games. So on Sunday, August 18th, you have New Orleans Saints at San Francisco 49ers, preseason week 3. That is nationally televised. We have more preseason games. But Thursday, August 22nd, Colts at Bengals. Sunday, August 25th, Cardinals at Denver. And then on Sunday, August 25th again, Patriots at Washington Commanders. Me and June might go to the Jags preseason game. I forgot who they're playing, but it's on Saturday, August 17th, because I'll be in Jacksonville for Nia's graduation.
I land in Orlando on the 17th. But then we drive down to Marco Island on the 18th, and I don't get back to Orlando to the 21st. Then
we fly out of Jacksonville on the 20th to head back to California.
So, yeah.
And that is all that we have. Oh, we've been on this thing for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we got to either start recording a lot sooner or what, but
or speak the topics a little bit more.
Look, another good episode, good topics. Again, this football paying these quarterbacks, man. It's been a topic we've been discussing, I think, all off season, and I'm getting kind of tired of talking about it, but it's probably really relevant. I expect some changes next year to the cap and see how they do it. But great episode, Nikki. Thanks for coming on. I know you was busy, so I appreciate you getting on, providing your intake.
You know, I do what I do when I can do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Bree, well, I'm done. Bree or Nikki, whoever want to go next.
All right, America. We almost there, America. Listen, I'm going to be quite honest, America. Today, for some reason, I got very, very excited that football season is really around the corner. I was kind of out and off last season. So, like, it's a new, I feel like I'm starting afresh, and I can't wait. Yeah, y'all keep your head up until next time.
Real quick, since I just seen it on Twitter, but I don't know if everyone's seen the viral video of the Raiders having the Kermit the Frog puppet dressed as Patrick Mahomes, calling him a bitch.
Oh yes, I had somebody, one of my customers, talk about it today.
So
we already better be careful.
We already heard Patrick Mahomes' response to it being, you know, hey, we see them twice a year, like, let's see what they do. But Andy Reid responded and says that we don't spend a lot of times here with puppets. Kansas City, we won Super Bowls. So that was his rebuttal to them. So we love
well, he ain't lie.
We love divisional drama. We love divisional drama. Max Crosby's gonna punch him in the face. Watch.
No, so they asked about it, and he's a rookie. He just got drafted, like 6th round. He's nobody. The puppet was given to him by a fan. You know, it wasn't like he brought it.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think they're gonna talk trash to him. I think that the AP Pierce is the environment that he's establishing on the Raiders. And Bree, you and I think saw that Max Crosby and him podcast interview where he told Max Crosby when Crosby hit Mahomes in the game and they got the flag thrown, and you know Crosby came back to him and he said, "No, you keep hitting him."
Is that Black Air Force One energy?
Yeah, he said, "You keep hitting him, and I will take the penalties, but hit him." And Antonio Pierce's mentality is, "I'm gonna make you feel me that we're here, and we're not scared of y'all." And what happened last time they played? They beat the Chiefs. And I know it's one game, Frank. But the problem is once I know you can bleed and you're human like me, I don't look at you the same way no more. And Andy Reid can say what he want to say. And yeah, he's winning Super Bowls now, and that's great. They're the team to beat. They're the ones they're the face of the NFL, you know, for all intents and purposes. But don't give a bum a chance. You know what I'm saying? Don't give a don't give a starving person a chance. We don't know what the Raiders are going to look like this year. And if that defense shows up like they did last year, and hey, if they could split with the Chiefs this year, that's still good. So
yeah, that's still a win.
But I like it. I like it. They made fun of him. He said he talked like Kermit the Frog.
I mean,
You guys have a
I think the response also was still very great. Like,
Oh, by
we
Andy
out
Reid?
here doing this, but
Yeah.
we shall see.
And I would too. If I was Andy Reid, that's exactly what I would say. Listen, we not out here. We out here winning for chips. You know what I'm saying? We not trying to just to get to the playoffs. We here. If it ain't Super Bowl,
It ain't, we ain't, yeah.
so I like it. I mean, they're division rivals too. So I think that's a good. It was like
Banter to
yeah.
start.
They were like what is it? Bulletin board material? I don't think so, man. Look, the Chiefs are the only people who can stop the Chiefs is the Chiefs. That's it. At this point, they got chemistry. The Bills messed up and let them get Xavier, the fastest guy at the damn combine, and then they went and got Marquise Brown, and it's like so
Well, Xavier was just to replace Tyreek. But let's talk about it. When Tyreek gone, they didn't miss a beat.
No, they didn't. They adjusted. So, and that's what I'm saying. So but now you give him Marquise Brown, you give him Hollywood, who we know could be good. You give him this kid Xavier, who's fast. You can spread the field. You're kind of going back to that offense that was kind of unstoppable at one point because of the fact that you had to protect the back. You got to protect the middle. And now they got Pacheco who can run the ball. It's like, bro, like this, they if you don't want them to three-peat, why would you let them get a receiver like that in the draft? That was bad on the Bills, but they got Keon. I think Keon's gonna be good. So,
my baby.
that is all. Until next week, peace.